Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new learning series, Care Interventions for People Living with Dementia during COVID-19 pandemic, presented by the Federation of Quebec Alzheimer's Societies. My name is Noah Bengaid. I'm the Director of Research and Development Quality of Services, and I will be glad to present to you today's capsule on how to engage the family and how to maintain the link between family members and a person living with dementia as a resident in your residence. So families during the pandemic has really been put at very hard, they had to went through very hard times. You can remember that on March 24th, families were not allowed to visit their loved one in long-term care homes. And this situation has brought a lot of anxiety, feeling of guilt, and concerns when it comes to family members. On May 11th, visits were again allowed under certain conditions, and since that date, more. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new learning series, Care Interventions for People Living with Dementia during COVID-19 pandemic, presented by the Federation of Quebec Alzheimer's Societies. My name is Noah Bengaid. I'm the Director of Research, Development, Quality of Services at the Federation, and I will be presenting today a capsule on how to engage the family and how to maintain the link between family members and your resident during this tough times. So during the pandemic, families have been going through difficult times. If you can remember, on March 24th, families were not allowed to visit their loved one in long-term care homes. And this situation has brought a lot of anxiety, a feeling of guilt, and concerns for their family members as they were not allowed to go and visit them. On May 11, visits were again allowed in long-term care homes under certain conditions, and since then, conditions have been as well changed to make caregivers and family members into long-term care homes to be able to be next to their loved one. But you have to remember what are the challenges for a person with dementia during this pandemic and what they had to face with this situation. Their routine have been modified, which can lead and cause anxiety. There was less stimulation because of the situation. There will be potentially a progression of their cognitive decline and the loss of their autonomy. And therefore, there will be more emotional needs that are unfulfilled with a higher risk of depression. So therefore, the role of family members and caregivers become crucial. And here are some of the reasons why you should engage family members and caregivers during this pandemic and this challenging situation. Caregivers are probably the person who know best your resident and the person with dementia. He will be able to share with you the person's values, her lived experience, her life objectives, her preferences, her routine, and she will have a better understanding and a knowledge of the desired care that they would like to receive. Family members as well can help with the choice of non-pharmacological interventions for better stimulation and to reach really a quality of life for the person with dementia. Their presence will certainly improve communication and allow healthcare professionals to provide as well a person-centered care. The effects as well on caregivers is huge. So it will enhance their expertise, decrease their feeling of guilt, provide also reassurance that the person with dementia will receive the care and the support that is needed according to their preferences and their values, and that a person-centered approach will be put in place to ensure that they are taken care appropriately. They will also have the feeling of remaining involved in the life of their loved one, but in a new way. They sometimes the feeling of guilt from relocating their loved one from their home to a long-term care residence is very hard on the caregiver, and to keep them informed and involved within the decision-making process is key to address this feeling of guilt. So being part as well of the improvement process in long-term care is something that is of great value for caregivers, as they will have the feeling of effectiveness, and that all these improvements will also benefit their loved one. So here are some strategies to engage with family members and to keep them or to keep the communication as well with the person with dementia. So for example, letters, the person with dementia can keep them. She can keep all the letters that she will receive and read them whenever he feels to. A letter can be handwritten and include meaningful pictures, appropriate smell that will bring happy memories to the person. Obviously, with the situation changing, when it comes to the pandemic, people can spend times writing letters to other family members that cannot come to see them, or as well to read letters that have been sent by family members to engage as well in conversation and to improve communication. Again, with phone conversation, this also very relevant. Unfortunately, only few residents have access to a phone directly in their room. So it helps them reach their family members, ask them to provide a list of phone numbers written in big capitals and place them near the phone. This will allow the person to maintain its autonomy when using the phone. And for those who do not have access to a phone in their room, plan phone calls with family members to ensure useful and impactful conversation will happen. Use as well other applications such as FaceTime, WhatsApp, also Skype, Viber, that will allow to not only to have a conversation, a phone conversation, but also a face-to-face conversation, and then it will address anxiety probably from family members or from the person living with dementia if they are not allowed, or they can't see their family members and coming to visit them. Another way as well to engage with the family members is windows and balcony in long-term care. Now the restrictions have been removed and lifted when it comes to the pandemic, so visits are allowed for family members. But if we get to reconfine, if the situation gets to change in the coming month, then windows and balconies in long-term care can be a way for the family to still come and visit their loved one. Also, use these strategies to encourage communication with family members. Within your unit, it's really important to have a clear protocol to follow. Who is in charge of getting in touch with the family? What are the applications? What are the resources? What do we need to have an appropriate communication set with family members? Define the task and responsibilities for each person who will be involved within this process. Also name a person who will be in charge of follow-ups with family members, and to engage caregivers in the decision-making process and the level of care to be provided. So really keep this interaction with family members throughout the course of the disease and throughout the the presence of the person with dementia within your resident and your long-term care, because that's key when it comes to the relation of trust that you are building with family members. Another strategy as well to implement, if it's not yet done, is to maintain an open, transparent, and honest communication process. Again, for the sake of trust, respond to their questions in a timely manner, respond to their concern as well, and explain what are the various measures that you are taking in place and implementing within your unit, and keep the caregiver and family members informed of the latest changes and along the way. That's key to engage and to have your family members part of the decision-making process when it comes to care and support for the person living with dementia. So for more information, please contact your local Alzheimer's societies, visit our website, www.alzheimerquebec.ca, or send us an email at info@alzheimerquebec.ca, and we will be more than happy to support you and answer your questions. So thank you again for your attention, and see you in the next capsule.